This podcast is rated MA. It may contain coarse language, sexual situations, and fantasy violence. It is not recommended for persons under 17.
Welcome to the 5th edition D&D podcast, The Rise of Tiamat and the Dragon Queen's Horde. Episode 4, On the Road, Part 2. I am Andrew Felling, the Dungeon Master.
I am Kirk, and I'm playing Caridin, the Wood Elf Monk.
This is Mary. I will be playing Zelania, the Wood Elf Sorcerer.
This is Seth. I'll be playing the Paladin Dragonborn Cespedes.
My name is Eric. I'm playing Falar, the Wood Elf Ranger.
Alright, so when we last left off, you were trying to get to a halfway house, so that way you could join up into this caravan that the Cult of the Dragon was running. You do know that they weren't going to be the only cart in there, that there would be other people with them. You have done 2 days on travel, so you're on day 3, and so you've got, I think it was like 3 more days of travel in order to get there, and then you'd have like a day, maybe 2, to just chill while you waited for them to show up. In the meantime, you had you found some kind of like weird tracks that ended up leading you up to some deer you had previously seen the evening before, and the deer had been viciously mauled. Cespedes, you decided to grab a leg and take some bites out of it.
Tasted good?
Not necessarily, but you're not sure if that's just because it was like the animal tasted like it was sick. Nothing. I mean, you yourself are not sick, but there was definitely. It was not. You'd imagine that a fresh kill would have tasted fresher. But yes, that's where we're at. So we're going to call it morning of the 3rd day. And a lot of your traveling so far has been very woven between hills. You suspect that you might be able to cut a little bit more time off your travel if you started just off-roading it and going up and over hills, but at the same point in time, that might put more strain on the horses drawing the wagon and everything, because A, they've got to haul it up a hill, and then B, they have to not get run over by it when they go down.
Yeah. And we also heard that disturbing the mounds would not be a good idea.
So it's not so much like disturbing the mounds, but so much as sometimes the mounds will disturb you. Yeah. So far, done your deaths. I can't remember. I think it was Cespedes did their death sentences on the mounds, and nothing has come up and been interesting about them. And you haven't been attacked, but at the same point in time, you're well aware that most of these hills that are here are in fact mass graves. It's just which ones decide to mess with you.
Yeah, and I was looking at my character, and I think elves have something where we can pick up the dead.
Maybe, I don't.
Oh, elves? Really? I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Features and traits.
Primeval awareness, is that something that's just ranger?
I think so, because we just had keen
that's
senses.
Yeah.
Fey ancestry, trance, dark vision.
Yeah, and this might help us out here a lot. It's something that's not just, it doesn't just pop up. I have to go searching for it. But so it's, as an action, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile. Yeah, that's the big part. Or up to 6 miles if it's in my favorite terrain, which we are currently not. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. So, but it's still, I don't know if it would change anything much for what we're doing, but I'll at least might get a heads up.
But yeah, it's that would probably be a really good way of just kind of spitballing here, testing a mound. But I mean, there are. Yeah. I would say within a 1 mile radius, you'll probably get like 10 mounds.
Right, I'll be pinging all the time.
I mean, pass out.
So here I was going to pull it up.
There was the ranger again.
Let me pull you up real quick so I can take a quick look at
I'm scared.
Because there's also the question of, does it go through dirt?
Right. Or is it just above ground?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because most of those spells, 3 feet of dirt will block the spell.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. No. Cespedes' thing only goes to foot deep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not even that deep. So.
Well, then they changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonus action X private awareness. So.
Yeah, you don't want to put on your enhanced senses and then have a thunderclap roll through. I've had to deal with that before in the past. Overload, roll it. You're stunned.
Oh, no, I can get 3 feet of wooden dirt.
Oh, 3 feet of wooden dirt. Okay.
Yeah, 1 foot of stone.
Yeah, I would say it's 1 foot of stone.
That's what it was. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat it just like Detect Good and Evil. in terms of its scaling, 1/10 of Detect Good, because you literally, it finds the exact same things, only yours is bigger and lasts longer. Actually, no, this one lasts longer because its minimum is 10 minutes. You can't even last as long as this one can. You're just bigger. So
It happens sometimes.
It does happen sometimes. It's not my fault.
okay, so
We're all 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
yeah. So what I'll say is, and this is still a ridiculous number, is because it's like, oh, top wise, unobstructed, up to 1 mile.
Yeah.
Obstructed by dirt or wood, 1/10 of a mile.
Yeah.
Obstructed by stone, whatever 1/30th of a mile is, because that's the breakdown for Detect Good and
That's
Evil.
fine. That's
crazy.
So it's still, but I mean, even then, like, it's like even that doesn't tell you the location or intensity or number, or it's like, yep, there's something.
Yeah.
Ping! I feel surrounded.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in trouble.
You know what feels safe? What? Up.
I sense something I haven't sensed since, and you just get to walk away. We're like, what? What? What's he talking to me? He does that all the time.
Just when we're here in this one spot. God damn it. Damn it, Tristan. Okay, so, yeah, and I'll check out some message boards and see what people say. And
problem.
I'm going to need someone to give a pretty good reason for it to not do the exact same thing that...
Well, his sounds more generalized.
It is... Well, no.
His sounds a little more specific,
No,
right?
Detect Good and Evil literally detects the exact same stuff. It only just goes for 30 feet, centered on him, and it lasts for 10 minutes, and it's a level 1 concentration spell. And it looks like there is a beefier version of it that lasts, again, for like 10 plus minutes, and it also... and it just stretches a little bit further. So for... the ranger, because I mean, like, yeah, if he kills off a level 1 spell, it should do the comparable thing to the other level 1 spell. If he kills the level 2, well, now he gets to do it, but for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's still the same thing as the level 1 spell that got 10 minutes. So
I just thought when he was reading his, it sounded more generalized and
so
knowing they're around, but not knowing anything about them. And I thought his said something about like knowing which direction or
for the duration, this is for Detect Good and Evil.
Could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
For the duration,
I know where it's located.
Yeah, he gets location and number.
But I thought his was like a general, like, I sense something in the forest.
Right.
It's terrible.
Right.
Right. So I'm 360 radar. You're kind of
Pinpoint.
You can.
Yeah, so he can ping and it's like, oh, I feel something, and then he can be like, all right, what the fuck is going on?
So you're the big metal detector, and I'm the pinpointer.
Yeah.
Long range versus visual sensors. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Did we just go Star Trek?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I have the references. They're in my arsenal. Deal with it.
They're in my torpedo bay.
Is that what you refer to Kate as?
Frequently. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Docking complete? No, that's not a different thing.
You're arming the torpedoes now.
Fucking bitch got her bay doors open. Don't ever listen to this, hon.
No, that's where you just add in, love you.
Hi.
Okay, so I'll leave those open. I'm leaving that open. Change them all the way over to the Merry Little here. Okay, so again, just kind of bringing it back in. You're at the morning of the 3rd day, and so far the trek has been kind of an eerie quiet, so much so that deer actually came near you.
Yeah.
And were just mauled hours later. By not you, and then Seth.
I'm still not sick.
Still not sick. You are not sick.
I guess
So we did
Billy's
check
fault.
up. We did check up the hill and find out that there was some kind of
going in a different direction.
barbarian guys or whatever they were. Like we got a general sense of
Right.
what they were.
Yeah, and you had gotten that because of the various footprints, and while some
Yeah.
had booted
Right.
feet, some had just what looked like a bare feet, and there were still a few that looked like skeletal feet.
Yeah.
So it's some semblance of at least one thing with a skeletal foot
Right.
That is the that is the only thing you know for certain.
Well, and that we decided to go the other way.
Right. Yes. You know they went more of a northern. You're aiming a little bit further east.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say let's pack up and head out a little faster, try and pick up some more.
Okay.
Put some distance between us and this if it's going in a different direction.
Okay.
Yep.
Get some chutzpah in your giddy up.
Push them a little bit today.
Okay. So what we'll do for that is just animal handling to yeah the horses.
I say half of us walk almost as fast as a horse, so
I know. Seth, do you have any?
That's if a horse is walking.
Right.
This is if the horse is like moving at a trot.
19.
Nice.
Yeah, you chutzpah achieved.
Nice. What's your plus on animal handling?
2.
I thought paladins have I thought that was one of their preferred things for their horses and shit. They change it in this?
It can be. Well, first of all, not every paladin gets a mount now.
Damn it.
Secondly, they it's still like I think it's like on their list of choosable skills.
Oh, okay.
And if he doesn't choose to put it, then he's just making his I think it's a wisdom.
Sorry about that, Seth. I volunteered you for something I thought you had.
Dude,
I did it.
He did
You
it.
did it well.
You know what? He does have it. He has what you need.
I got it. Yeah, I didn't choose it. I just thought dragon. He's not going to ride a horse very often.
But you could ride a rhino.
Yeah.
Well, if we come across a rhino,
Did anyone else just see his face when
Yeah.
that happened? Just the light up like. I have to stop thinking medieval fantasy.
that's one of those things. I always wanted a character ride a zebra, because it is technically impossible to tame a zebra. So in a D&D game, it's about the only place it could happen.
I had one character who played like a 400-pound elf who rode in a chariot towed by an elephant.
Wow.
His name was Belaftheset, and the elephant, I don't remember what the elephant's name was. But I mean, like, we had to roll for diabetes.
Wow.
There wasn't a question of if he was obese or not. No. It was roll to keep that foot.
Man.
Magic healing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will need, we'll just go kind of like round table. I think Eric's rolled one. I don't know who else has rolled one, so I'm just going to start with Seth. Roll for the day, and this will be your little encounter roll. See if something happens.
Good luck, man.
You want to use the hammer. There you go.
I have faith in you to do what I
A
want.
random encounter with a building?
You never know.
10.
It's 50-50.
All right, interesting. All right, thank you for letting me know this.
yeah.
Click. So, actually, I do need to open that. So, you're all, you move throughout your day, and roll. Everyone, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
8.
I think mine's like 12.
21.
21.
Are we rested before we get involved with anything else?
Yeah, you're rested.
Okay.
You had a full night's rest.
Okay.
I don't think we were at rest point last time when we left, but I just kind of yada-yada'd you to the rest and through it.
That's fair.
I thought in the morning when we woke up, we tracked the stuff, and that's kind of where we stopped.
Right. So I just kind of like, I gave you that day.
Okay.
I can take
I
it
had
back.
I had a spell slot that was burned, so I just wanted to make sure
Yeah, you
before
bet.
we got into anything what I really had here.
Yeah, you got it back. Kirk was waiting on a confirmation on a number from you.
12.
12. Okay, cool. All right. So Thalar and I forgot your character's name.
Carradine.
Carradine.
All right.
You know, neither of you really hear anything. You're just going about enjoying your day, maybe shooting some elf shit. Well, what do they discuss? Wine and boys.
Yeah. I do all the time.
But
Pinch my nipples while I do it.
Zell and
Jeez.
Zell and Cespedes, while you guys don't really hear anything either, it's actually what you don't hear that does kind of echo through your mind. No birds, no bugs. It's just stillness.
Is this new to today?
Yeah, at the very least, this is the first time you're noticing it.
Okay.
Because even then, like, you always kind of had the background din of the river running nearby, and as you've moved more north and east, you've kind of moved further and further away from the river. And today you've noticed that you can't really hear it. Yeah, you can't actually hear it at all, but you can't even hear birds or bugs. Just it's very still quietness that you specifically, having spent so much time in nature, have grown accustomed to. And so it's like all of a sudden having that, it'd be like if at night when all of a sudden the city lights aren't around, you're like,
or very specifically, this is what happens when a predator approaches. Like,
possibly, you don't know.
No, but typically, when that is one time when nature will go quiet is when a predator. is approaching.
Yes.
I would know that. Okay.
You don't know what I got on my screen?
Either way, it puts me on edge, and so I'm going to not be in the wagon, probably be on the seat of the wagon, bow nearby, just in case. But if we don't see anything in specific, we might as well keep going.
Okay.
Forward.
And I'll pull out my sword.
Okay. So yeah, I guess Fowler and Carradine, you see the other two of your party kind of tense up and draw weapons close.
Are you guys okay? Something going on?
It's too quiet.
Quiet.
I'm concerned about the nipple pinching.
To say nothing of my raging erection.
I don't think your raging erections silenced the grasshoppers.
Damn it! It has done that before.
So you're saying Carradine already has his weapon out?
Yep. It's at the ready.
Staff in hand.
Then I will stop and take a... Are we in between hills, or are we...
Yeah, I mean, you're constantly in between hills unless you say you're going to go up on a hill. You're in a little bit more of a valley. I mean, you got some space between you and hills, but I mean, that's still only maybe 100 feet between base and base.
Should we stop for a second and try and hear if something is coming up on us, or...
The grass is not particularly tall, maybe only coming up 6-7 inches. So...
All right, I'll cast the detect good and evil while we're going. At least have it on for 10 minutes, and if anything...
Well, and what we can do is slow the horses down to a walk, which would give, particularly you, time if you wanted to go find a vantage point, but we can still keep moving. You can catch up easily at that point.
Yeah. Or we could just do the pass without trace and...
Yeah, that's true, too. We're in the wagon, so...
Well, and I will... I'm going to climb up to the top of the wagon real swift-like and get a good vantage point from up there, see what I can see.
Yeah. I mean, you can, from climbing up on top of the wagon and even standing on it, it does sound like it's moving, so go ahead and give me a dex or acrobatics. Don't roll a 1. Yes! No, that is the 4th time in a
jinx.
row I've done that.
Tell me not to win the lottery. Tell me not to win the lottery. Come on.
So
It's
you
too
go
late.
and you
Somebody
start to
already
stand up, and you
Powerball.
do fall off, but it's not a 10-foot fall or anything, so you don't take any damage. You just bruise your ego.
I wasn't looking, so I didn't see it.
No, I did that on 3 times on Sunday to my other gig.
Well, if you remember, I was notorious for this in our last session, these low rolls, specifically ones.
You were stealing them from Seth.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this is like
I appreciate it.
It's one of those like I have to hold on to the streak though, because I want to see how long I can keep it running.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast detect good and evil.
Yeah.
Evil and good.
So you go ahead and you do it, and you can look from left to right, and it only goes about 30 feet. So you get almost to the base of each hill during your gaze. You know where its limits are at, and you don't sense anything there. And you look up, searching the sky, and I mean, there are clouds in it. And I guess you could call it cloudy, but for the most part, I mean, it's well-lit Sunday. The clouds do appear to be moving exceptionally slow, if anything, mostly because of the sheer lack of wind. But because of your own paranoia of the, fields of the dead that you are currently walking through, you actually do spend a good amount of time focusing on the earth and the earth around you as you're passing it, knowing that you can't get that, deep insight into the earth, but anything you can get right now is going, will save your life and the lives of your companions. But even then, still just nothing within the range of your spell.
There's that one earthworm who's just a dick.
Dun, dun, dun. Squirt, squirt. World domination someday.
It's a
sentient worm.
I say he's playing worms, but it's on a scale that doesn't.
He is a worm that happens to be purple.
Yep. Yep.
Was he going to pull out the holy hand grenade? That was the best
it's
weapon
fantastic.
in that game. Yeah.
So, Carradine, you were running up a hill. You got
Yeah, I could do that.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was.
It was suggested, but I didn't know if we were going to detect, an army behind a hill already.
If you
Not
don't
me.
have to,
I'll run up.
Okay, yeah. You kind of deem it to be a decent idea when your ranger can't stand on a flat.
Right.
All right. Run.
I think I'm a good ranger.
Well, what was your total, anyways? Even though you rolled a 1, was it below 10?
Probably. Oh, absolutely.
I was, yeah.
I don't know. We could have mad decks.
That's a +4.
Yeah, so
No, it's
7
5.
total. It's just so it would be a 5 flat.
Yeah, it's 5 flat.
Yeah. So again, you don't take any damage falling off, but you do fall off because it is a moving cart, even
Yeah.
if it's moving at 3 miles an hour.
Dude, I just still picture myself like doing this wicked ass grab side Legolas flip up and just falling on my ass. Like,
All this time you've been spending with the monk, you think you just learned slow fall.
yeah.
All right. I'll run up to the top of a hill.
Okay.
Fuck, a 9.
Okay.
God damn it.
Yeah, and this would just be a perception because you're looking out, and you get up to the top of the hill, and this is much like any of the hills you've been up for before. And when you get up there, it's like when you're down in it, it almost is like moving through a forest of hills. But then when you get up on top of one of these, you look around and you just get this big open view of all these rolling, moving hills. You actually start to wonder, it's like, why don't hill dwarves live here? Like, this is
Right.
literally where they would be. And then you are quickly reminded, like, oh yeah, the dead.
Yeah.
But no, you don't see anything.
All right. I'll go down the hill parallel to them and back up the next hill and stand and look.
Okay.
See if I can do better than a fucking 2. There we go. 17.
17. All right. On this next hill, you do a more thorough investigation because now you've kind of because they said they've moved down to like a walk speed. You're moving at like a half jog. So you do get out in front of them. You get in. You really scan, each horizon and down between the hills. Still not quite able to find anything.
Okay. I guess I'll keep going along with them. Down a hill, up a hill.
Okay. I'll let you do this one more, and then if you still don't find it, then you don't find it.
19.
19.
Plus 7, sorry. So 26.
Oh shit! And more as you do this, and the paranoia seems to be just growing in your belly. Like there has to be something here. Why is there no
Yeah.
noise? And one thing you are able to spot, but it's not so close to you, and it's like a few hills south of you. There do appear to be on top of this hill appears to be a small cluster of just gnarled trees. No leaves, even though it's very much in the time of summer. At least I think it's summer, or was it spring? It's
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I want to say
Yeah,
it was summer.
it would have been during Greenhist, or we'll say summer for now.
So I keep imagining these hills are like the Flint Hills out in Kansas, where there's no trees, it's just grass and rolling hills. Is that what we've been experiencing?
Yes, and when you have seen a tree, it's been solitary and more of a sapling. Like, you grew here on accident.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a piece of fruit that fell off of a wagon and took root.
Okay.
But there's like
Cluster.
there's an actual cluster over in this one section, and they're all gnarled, and even from where you see it now, they're all warped and they're sick.
Okay.
And it is like a good quarter mile away.
Okay. I'm going to wave them to go on, and I'm going to kind of take a knee and watch this cluster to see if it's moving or anything
Okay.
for a little bit.
All right. You know what? You're focused on an area. I know it's a long distance, but we'll call this a long distance investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, elf vision. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Keen senses.
I mean, he's got the keen senses.
Yeah.
And I have a 0 for this. And a 1.
You do stare very intently at these, and they are not moving. They are most certainly not moving.
Okay. Well, after a little bit, then I race back up and hop back on the cart.
Okay.
I tell them I saw a cluster of trees back there and watched it for a little bit. Didn't seem to do anything.
The trees didn't move.
Yeah.
They were just trees
A
then.
group of gnarled trees, which I don't recall seeing groups of trees up until now.
That's
But they didn't
fine,
move?
But
They didn't
they didn't
move.
move
I
or
don't think so.
talk to
I
you.
watched them for a
or-
while.
Okay,
They're far off to the south.
the squirrels.
Those squirrels.
Okay, It's just an odd thing to say. I watched the trees, but they didn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, fair. I still have my bow.
We need to get you a pet squirrel. This is an ongoing theme.
She'll eat it.
They're kind of delicious.
I'm nursing my bruised hip. You and your cheese are over there. Does anyone have an ego band-aid?
So yeah, we're just gonna continue out through the rest of the day.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good thing. Avoid those trees. Yeah, they'll get you.
Yeah. Just keep an eye out. Are there any other clusters of trees that we're coming up on? Like, because it seems like they're just individuals.
Try to sneak up on the trees. Get them
And
before
beware.
you get them.
I say make sure they're not laying in ambush. Yeah. Not people in the trees laying in ambush, but the trees.
Yeah.
They don't want to be ambushed by
like
trees.
the path isn't going to go through a pack of trees where there are no other trees anywhere else. Yeah, let's make sure of
We're
that.
around that.
The elves are now paranoid of trees.
I don't trust them.
We know too much.
Trees in the desert.
Yeah.
I was gonna shrug.
Okay. So, yeah, you get through. You probably hit about a lunch point. You're able to pull over.
Does the sounds of nature come back?
No, it's still just quiet. Just, I mean, you're all able to talk to each other, but I mean, aside from
Yeah.
aside from like the hoofs of your horses, the wheels moving through the grass, maybe your own footsteps if you're on them, and your own conversation,
Okay.
you are the only signs of life in these hills.
Okay. I guess when we stop, I'll go up to the top of a hill. And
I say, I think I'm going to go
swing
range it a
around.
little bit.
I'm gonna go range.
Going to go range.
All right.
There we go. Natural 20. 27.
Okay.
Or just 20 for investigation if that's what I got to do.
No, we're not gonna do that. So, yeah, you get out there and you hit up another top of a hill. Again, you don't see any trees. You kind of look back to the spot where you think they might have been, but at the same point in time, that was a few hours ago.
Yeah.
And while you guys haven't been traveling at breakneck speeds or anything like that, you have been. Cespedes did give them that little kick to get them moving today. Probably moving at about 6 miles an hour. You've been traveling for about 4.5, 5 hours, so maybe
Okay.
30, somewhere about 30 miles away from you were when you saw the trees. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I check anyway.
Yeah, that's if anything, this is a sign of relief because
Right.
the trees aren't following
Right.
you
That's what I
that
was
you
making
know
sure.
of.
Get to the
You
top
said you
and
were
look
doing
down. There
something?
they
Yeah,
are.
I'll just kind of go range a little bit, get some perception out there. I'm going to go far enough away where I can still see the cart, but that's probably about the distance I'm going to, maybe just past the vision of being able to see them. So if it's a place where I have to go behind hills and lose vision, I'm going to definitely stay within sight distance.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of thing is because of the hills. They're not super tightly packed. They are kind of rolling.
I'm also going to stay at the top of the hill so he can sort of go out farther if he needs to.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
if you use him as the reference
Anchor.
point,
Yeah.
then yeah, you could totally get a good distance. That was going to be my one limiting thing. Like if you're going to try to stay in the eye line of the cart,
Right.
you're going to be limited because pretty much 60 feet any direction, you're now going around a hill.
Okay.
Unless you go up on top of a hill, which point in time you probably have about 200 feet any direction.
Okay.
But
My goal here is to see if I can figure out anything by using, ranger techniques and nature and whatnot to find out why we're having this odd silence.
okay. So yeah, then roll me it'll just be a perception. I would say it's a perception if you're trying to just find anything that's out there, but if you're looking for maybe because Zell had mentioned the idea of this is what happens when predators show up in the nature. If you're trying to look for something like that, then that would be more of a survival kind of thing. So
Okay. they're both at +5. So,
both +5. All right,
so not very good here. 11.
11. All right. Yeah, you do. You kind of go around your first hill and you don't really see anything. You go around the second hill, still nothing. Third hill kind of has a almost like a rock face going up to it, and which is a little weird because everything else has been. The only reason it's of note is because everything else has literally just been rolling grass.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, you kind of give it a little bit more of an investigation. You're just kind of I guess this is just where some stones probably got thrown during a battle of some kind, and they've just accumulated here or whatever. But yeah, aside from the almost, like I said, almost rock face that's on one side of one of the hills that you're near, nothing else really.
Like a sheer.
It's
like a cliff, or
no,
just
no.
kind of-
It is. It's almost like rocks piled up going up to, I'd say, about a third of the way up the hill and then coming back down.
Doesn't look natural to me.
They've been there for so long that it looks natural, but they wouldn't be natural in the sense of they naturally formed here. Something would have had to come and deposited these rocks here.
Gotcha.
They haven't moved
Okay.
in better part of a century or two, as far as you can tell.
Okay. I'm going to go up that hill, too.
Okay. Yeah, you go up that hill. I mean, all the hills are a pretty easy walk up. I mean, nothing is like that super straight up, you really got to climb a hill. It's just like, oh, this is just going to take time. Why? Well, because I'm also, in addition to walking up, 60 feet, I'm also walking out, like 100.
Okay.
So you get up to the top of that hill. If you want to roll another, since it's just going to be kind of more of a bigger, wider area, this would just kind of be a perception. And I'd say this hill is kind of a little bit of a leapfrog. Like you are more northwest, so you're back behind the cart by a little bit. But I mean, like from your point to his hill, which you can easily see, it's maybe 200 feet.
Okay.
200-300 feet. So
Yeah, I rolled another 11 for that perception.
11 for that perception. Yeah, it's almost bugging you how you should just be enjoying the beauty that is out here. You feel like you should just be enjoying it because it's just those nice, like a gentle breeze kind of goes by and rustles the grass and it's, just very peaceful. But with the lack of bird song or bugs, I guess chirping, squeaking, I don't know, or even like a field mouse squeaking or just some other sign of life. It's almost, you feel like like you've stepped into like this odd green void.
I'm going to go ahead and burn a spell slot. We're not picking up anything, so I'm going to go ahead and burn a spell slot and use the Primeval Awareness.
Ping. I mean, yeah, you burn your spell slot, and immediately, like as soon as it finishes, you feel. Now, are you able to tell if it is one of those things, undead or whatever? 'Cause
It's not specific. It tells you that you can sense those things, but it doesn't tell you if it tells you if it's that thing.
Yeah. And I haven't looked in a board yet or anything like that. So yeah, for now I'm just gonna say you can't distinguish the difference. But yeah, it's you let off your Primeval Awareness, which almost confirms the paranoia you've been feeling. Something among those goes off.
No, it says specifically that it doesn't reveal the creature's location or number, but it doesn't say it doesn't reveal what type of thing it is.
Okay. Fuck it. I don't care. It's undead.
I mean, I kind of figured we're in the undead land.
Yeah, it's like it's undead.
I was worried about that, but we can see far enough for Seth's stuff to be fully effective. Like, and it's daylight, so maybe we should just pack up and speed everything up and get through this crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I come back and tell you, hey, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, but I definitely sense that there are undead here, but we kind of knew that would be the case.
Yeah.
So this is really putting me on edge. Let's just hightail it out.
Okay.
Run!
I'm for that. I could do that. I'm bored.
Yeah, I don't like this place. I'd rather leave. Faster is better.
20.
Nice.
Animal handling, that is.
Okay. You are already putting them at a healthy clip, but you've decided, you know what? I need to make up time for lunch. You really whip it through them, like you're. And the horses also themselves almost feel like the need to get moving. Like it didn't take a whole lot of coaxing to get the little extra oomph out of them. Realistically, between your two checks, both before and after lunch, you've probably made up for half a day of travel. In terms of getting to where you need to go. But it's the early hours of twilight are now upon you, and it's time to find a place to rest.
Circle the wagons, folks.
Yep, we'll go ahead and set up our nightly rotation when the dragon can sleep. And so with our dark vision, keep an eye on those trees.
Yeah, watch out for trees.
Those
Particular
moving
undead
trees.
Those definitely not moving after a critical failed trees.
Just looking for wood. That's all it is.
We're all looking for wood.
Yep.
I thought you did that earlier.
Oh, he found it.
I didn't take care of it, but I look.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
Well, I'm beat. I'm going to bed.
Sleep
I'll
well,
take
precious.
I'll take last watch.
You don't need to take a watch at
Damn
all.
it, man. Damn it.
Just go to sleep.
Okay.
Sleep in the cart. this time.
Yes, in the cart.
Okay.
Do not be the. So yeah, because last time I believe what it was like Zell would do like 2 hours, you would do.
We'd both do. Two of us
And
would
then
do
you would
4
do
hours, and someone would do the
overlap of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I need then is Kirk. I need you to do the. Well, who's doing the overlap? Because I know last time it was Carradine.
I'll take the first watch this time.
I'll do the overlap, and you can do the last
I'll
one.
do last watch.
Okay, so Fowler, I need you to tell me high or low because that's going to determine which
Low.
low. Okay, so yeah, that's most definitely not. All right, so I should just do that instead. Yeah, that makes more sense. Hold on, I'm going to redo something because there are technically 4 phases of the watch.
Right.
Mary on her own, the overlap with Kirk,
Right.
Kirk on his own. So there we go. Okay. So I need a perception just from Kirk, and then I need one from Eric and Mary, and we'll call that
10.
15.
12.
I'm sorry, 11. 11. Sorry, it's a +7.
okay. So 11, 15, and 12.
Our vigilance has failed.
It's too quiet.
15 is not too bad.
No,
I might
it's
see
not.
some.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hopes and prayers, man. They go out to you, and you're. So yeah, you go through. We actually do. You go through all your shifts, and nothing comes up to bite anyone in their sleep.
Okay.
All right. So now that I've established enough tension, day 4, you kind of get the feeling that if you're able to pull the same speed that you got from your previous day, you should be able to get to that house.
Okay.
Or it's technically a tavern, but it's only ever occupied or used if there's no tavern keep there.
Okay.
So what we'll do here is we will have Mary do a roll.
Okay. Just a 20 or
Yeah. Just 20.
Nice.
20.
Cool.
Now that I've done that, I will not be able to do that again tonight.
And then I guess Cespedes, do you want to try to hyang your horses?
Yes. Hopefully. 19.
19. Okay. You are right out of the gate again, getting them going. And so you just get them up, get them going, rawhide.
Hit them up. Move them out. Ride them in. Ride them out.
And you get through your first stretch of the day. It's all nice, calm. Still no sound of nature or anything, which is still just bugging everyone. I mean, like it's almost maddening. But as you are actively traveling, booking it, you're following your map, you actually do kind of see something up in the distance. If anyone wants to roll a quick perception check.
Did you say everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
I see nothing.
23.
18.
I got 10 less than he did.
So you got 13?
I got an 8.
You got an 8? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had 7.
7. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Cespedes and Zell, you're just you see something, but you can't quite make it out. Carradine and Fowler, though, you immediately. So you got an 18 and a 23.
23.
Okay, you immediately recognize that there are 2 figures hunched over in like the middle of what would be the road
Right.
if one existed, and they appear to be, Fowler, as far as you can tell, they look to be digging, almost like with their hands or whatever. Carradine, you recognize that they are actually tearing into the carcass of something, and they are eating whatever it is, and they're just these. They've got long, thin arms, and there's some kind of greasy black hair coming out of the back of them. They've got this very pale white skin, and
I grabbed whoever's shoulders driving and pulled them back. So they.
that would be Cespedes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to make that noise with your mouth. The horses do it on their own.
Oh, okay.
And you're about when you see this, you are about 100 feet away.
Okay.
Because it's very hard to get a very long view ahead. So
Okay.
I'm definitely drawing my bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speed
Like,
round.
what range are we talking here?
he woes them at 100 feet.
Okay.
So I mean,
They're in range of my bow.
I think they're in
it.
range for most people's stuff, but it's most people it's like nearing their max range.
I'll get out in front of the horses about 30 feet while he does his shoots team.
Once the cart stops,
Right.
I'm gonna get on top. When it stops.
Okay.
Carefully.
Yeah, and
Like a baby going up a step. Like,
Yes, yes.
hands,
even
feet.
with your so you have a minimum of like what, a +5 to your acrobatics, or like a what? I mean it's like a +4 then, so
+4.
+4. Yeah. So you can't fail this even with a 1. So yeah, when it's not moving, you right on up there. So you and yeah, you look out and you both take a deep study of the two, and now Carrie, now you're within 70 feet. You can actually start to hear the sounds of the eating, and it's really is just the tearing of flesh and scraping of bone of some kind, whatever these.
Well, before you get too far out of range for me to.
Oh, no. I'm stopping 30 feet in front of the horses and waiting for them to come.
Okay, well that's what I'm
start
saying.
shooting.
Before you get far anywhere, I'm gonna say I have your back, and I'm gonna train. I'm gonna really focus and train on a shot here if they move towards him.
Yeah.
Hey, Zell, what are they doing?
There might be something up there. I'm not really sure.
Well, no, the two of you do. You see that there is something. You just
right.
don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right.
You-
Okay.
Where the two of you saw that's two clear humanoid figures. So
I mean, they look concerned, so I'm gonna pull out my bow, but
yeah. And as time goes on, with the moments you get the time to sit and study them, you actually do realize like, oh, that is wow. Okay, there is two figures, and it does look like they're like actively ripping into something that's on the ground.
Okay, if I have a few moments here to like really look at them, can I roll some kind of either perception or kind of arcana or whatever I need to see if I can identify what they are, if it's something that I would know about?
Yeah, I would say for Carradine and Thalar, because you saw them earlier and you've had more time to study them, I will give you guys the options to roll either arcana, religion, history, or just a general knowledge.
Okay.
I think nature technically also falls under the knowledge, so yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go nature because all the rest of my stuff is horrible. I'm dumb.
Dum, da, dum, dum, dum.
13 for
Oh.
nature check.
It's not too dumb.
8.
8. You've heard of both of you kind of fall under this. You've heard of zombies and how they do eat the flesh of the living, and they are basically they're like wild men but undead. Though you tend to hear and think of them as something that's more rotted away, so something doesn't quite click for you. You, though, knowing further down that whole line of like, there's multiple, for lack of a better term, tiers of zombie, and you think this is probably one of the more feral versions of one, something you've heard referred to as a ghoul.
Okay. And by that, I would know that they are not intelligent and extremely dangerous type thing?
They're non-vocal. They can't speak or anything like that. Many a dark practitioner of magic tend to use them as feral foot soldiers and things like that.
So, like, smart enough to follow orders, but they probably won't listen to our verbal commands.
They're more like an undead attack dog kind of thing.
Gotcha.
They'll understand things like sit, stay, kill, but they're not going to know things like get the blonde. That's too much.
But these guys being feral may not even fall under that category.
May not even fall into that category.
Okay.
You have heard of, it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite remember. There is a third evolution up, and those guys are if these guys were zombies, would be like the foot soldiers, and these guys being like the shock troops. The captains would be this thing that you can't quite remember the name of it though. But you don't think these are them, because those are ones that are actually capable of speech and stand upright, and while they are vicious, you don't remember them being described as animalistic, where these guys are just, there is no difference between these things and something that, like a bear mauling its meal to death.
Well, as knowing that information is I don't know if quiet's the right word, because it's very quiet out here, but I'm going to try to signal to Cespedes and Zell to be at the ready. I know they're I don't know if they're on like full alert, but I want to get them to that.
I mean, you can full on like whisper straight down to them. I
Yeah.
mean, you're standing on top of the cart.
We're sitting on the driver's
They're
seat.
sitting on the driver's
Okay.
seats.
So I want to get them to full alert.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up my bow when we stopped, and you guys like got real interested in something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the only person you'd have to yell to would be Carradine, who's, or even then you wouldn't have to really have to yell to him. You could probably like speak,
Yeah.
but like it is this.
I'm trained. I'm a soldier. I'm trained in like military hand signals, and I'm giving you like a cautious signal. Yeah. Just a huge thumbs up and charge. That's what you interpret it as.
He goes back just like,
Shake my head slowly. No. Point to him. Do an arrow. Point to them.
And I smile with thumbs up at my
And I
cheek.
turn back around. And I just prepare myself for a
Oh god,
run.
this is gonna go awesome.
I'm gonna stand up on the seat of the wagon so that I have free range with my longbow because those are real hard to use when sitting down.
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
I'm gonna hop out and start walking.
okay. I would say those who have arrows, you are clearly going to have a surprise round on this one because I'm pretty sure that you guys are going. You're like, oh, well, we need to go that way. Kill them and move on.
That's my plan.
So,
So no, they're impeding our way, right? They're in front of us.
Yeah.
Like
They're in,
yeah, I mean, like
in the road.
Like they're, well, it's the road. I mean, you could technically
Road.
go around a
Right.
different way and avoid them altogether if you wanted to.
I haven't shot my bow yet.
Right. No, these things aren't pleasant, and I don't think
Right.
they need to exist in the world.
Oh no!
I'm
And
with
anyone who has any kind of affiliation with nature, upon realizing that these are undead, the word abomination and must die. Those are the words that come to your head.
Okay.
So yeah,
It seems the work of Tiamat.
Not everything is the work of Tiamat.
it could be.
All right.
That's what's in my head.
Before this argument gets louder.
So yeah, I'm definitely firing.
Yeah, I shoot
an
something.
acid arrow.
Okay, so we'll say you do your release about the same time that Cespedes has gotten next to Carradine. So what we'll do here is we'll go arrow, arrow, and then I'll have you guys roll for initiative. If you've got some kind of 70-foot range weapon, either of the two of you can try to take part.
I'll wait.
I'll tell them. Mary.
I'll
You
hold
take-
that
Leaning
action.
on my spear.
Take the one on the
I'm-
left.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I
Which
just
one's
have
the ugly one?
flaming greatsword.
The one you call mom. Okay. Yeah, no, I had for you when you walked up, I had them roll a perception to see if they hear you. 'Cause I was like, oh, a 2. No, they don't. Nah, fam. All right,
So
so
do we have advantage or anything, or just surprise here?
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you advantage
I'm sharpshooting.
because I mean, like, well, no, I'll call these guys prone. We'll just go with that. Was that movement creatures only able to? No.
I say that would make it harder to shoot them, not easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that then. Yeah, just disadvantage.
Okay.
It's good because my first roll was a 1. My second roll was a 16.
Ah, ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Stinky dice.
How'd you do?
Well, I did.
How'd you do, buddy?
Well, I'm trying to find my sharpshooter here.
Sharpshooter is just a -10.
I know.
Or no. Sorry,
it's-
it's a -5
You're right.
plus 10 to
Right,
the
right, right,
damage.
So a 10.
Total
Yeah.
to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Your arrow goes wide. Your arrow buries itself into the one on the left.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
Should I roll the necrotic damage that the bow does, or does that affect them? I'm not sure that I.
It heals them.
Roll them separately and let me know what those numbers are.
Okay, well, it's.
And your ability damage would count towards the bow damage,
Right.
not the necrotic.
Right. It's 9 regular damage, and then 3 necrotic.
Okay.
Question. Can I use Hordebreaker and get another shot? Because it says once on each of your turns when you make a weapon attack, you can make another weapon attack with the same weapon on a different creature.
Yes, you can because it just says a weapon attack. It doesn't
doesn't say
say
if it hits or
it doesn't
not.
say if it hits or not.
Okay. And that one does not have advantage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, this one won't.
Okay. And this is just a regular shot. So that's an 18.
18.
Yeah.
It has undead traits. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, I hate
And
that.
the other thing is, does necrotic energy heal it?
Not all the time.
Oh,
That would suck.
It can, but not always.
Well, I wouldn't know until I shot it because I have no idea what it is. It's cool. If it doesn't work, I'll get closer and just start chucking fire. It's fine.
Okay, let's just try this then.
So I'm actually hitting the same one that Mary had.
Yeah.
Because it was the other target that I initially went to, and I did 18 damage. Acid damage. I like the bow when I can shoot it straight.
Oh, okay, cool.
The new string.
Undead traits literally in 5e just means that it has the undead type. It doesn't actually give it anything extra. Cool. Where were you? Here you are. Okay, so you did 9 bow, and then how much necrotic?
3.
3 necrotic, so 12 total?
Yes.
Okay, and then you did 18?
Acid, yes.
Acid damage. Okay, so yeah, the his first arrow goes flying. Your arrow goes and impacts, and then a third arrow, a second one from Valar, comes in and hits him. So he does this before falling over in a mass, and the acid continues to then pool out and start withering away the body as it starts to thrash around on the ground before finally becomes twitches and nothing. With its meal interrupted and companion actually dead, the remaining ghoul turns, faces you, and lets out this deep rolling howl before getting on possible almost like a all four gorilla style run at you. Even then, I mean, like it only and it moves 60 feet, so there's still like 10 between Cespedes and
Sounds good.
but while it's making that run, you hear a response howl.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Bigger
That's what I figured.
and deeper coming over the hill to your left. You can't quite see anything, but you definitely heard something.
Okay. I guess when it gets up within 20 feet, I'm going to throw my dart at it.
Yeah, I'll let you throw a dart. Go ahead. Cespedes, same deal. If you want to throw something at it when it gets within a range, we want to call it anything. Nope. I mean,
Nope.
You have your hammer. You can throw your hammer at it.
I didn't think I could throw that.
You can throw anything. I believe in you.
I'm going to hang on to it.
Okay.
26 to hit
Yeah, that hits.
and 8 points of damage.
Okay.
You got some wicked darts.
It's just the one now.
Yeah.
It's the one that returns.
Yeah. Okay, I actually have to track.
Is it that kind of dart?
Yeah. His name is Fido.
It's like that little dart that Lucy Lou threw through the door at the bride when she was sitting outside.
There you go.
Because the darts they keep showing in D&D are like, it's literally a metal arrow that they... I'm like, why would... Okay, whatever.
Well, it's like a lawn dart.
Right. A jart.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell, I'm scared of those.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, so you throw it, you hit it, and it actually does kind of throw off its running cadence, and so for it's kind of now moved into like this weird lumber charge that's still coming at you on, but now we are going to move into Anashatava.
It took me a minute to figure
I
out
did
what
that
that
too.
was.
I was like...
I was
what?
like, what fancy, like, who's coming up on us? I don't know what's going on.
It's a unique.
Tea time.
Later we'll be shopping at Target.
Okay.
Named NPCs.
7 for me.
Cespedes.
18.
Holy shit. Carradine.
He was
15.
rowdy.
Nothing fancy.
And Zell.
20.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dang, dang.
I'm rolling shitty.
I'm
today.
not doing good tonight either. That's fine. You got to have those nights off, because the other nights have been pretty...
Okay, so, okay. And he gets a +1. Okay, interesting. So,
I think my dice are still pissed from Archon.
That's where dice get pissed.
Didn't get used enough.
They might have pissed that they didn't go to Archon.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, that's appropriate. Okay. So, Zell, you are up first.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a shot at the one still in the road.
Okay.
It's not dead yet, right? You didn't kill
No.
it.
No, he didn't kill it. He did harm it, and as far as you could tell, your arrow that you shot the first time did the exact effectiveness you would expect.
Okay. Tides of Chaos.
Okay, you chaotic that die.
I didn't hit, but I didn't roll a 1.
Yay.
Unless a 12 hits it.
A 12 does in fact hit
Oh.
the naked man
Oh,
running
wow.
at you.
There you go.
Well done.
Go, Zell, go.
Gotta go, Zell. Gotta go, Zell.
10 damage. Total.
All right.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's actually not great, but I rolled a 2, a 2, and a 3 on 3 dice. That's not great.
Nope, that is less than average.
One of those is a D8 too. Like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's 2d6 and a d8.
plus 3.
All of our dice.
Yeah.
It could have been 3.
So it's
Could have been that, yes.
you kind of catch it in the side, forcing it into a weird spin, disrupting its charge even more. Cespedes, you are up. It's running right. It's hitting right for you.
Is he enraged for me to cut his head off?
He will be in, I think, what did I say, like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's also making. So you and the ghoul get to act on the same turn. And he is going to close to you because after his spin around, you are the first thing it sees because it's convenient this way. So he is going to make an attack against you while you can make your attack against him.
Nice.
All right.
That is a D10, not a D20.
We'll take it.
And he hits.
Yes.
Magic bag of holding dice.
Fuck yeah, man.
So I rolled a 26 to hit.
Yeah, you hit. He's got a 19. Does that hit you?
My armor class is 19.
He hits. All right.
Is that 26 a natural 20 or a 19?
That was a 19. Okay.
I need. Okay, so roll your damage, and then roll a Constitution save.
Uh-oh.
And then I hit him for 20 points of damage. And what'd you say? Constitution?
Yeah.
13.
Okay. You take 8 points of damage as its claws rake against your scales, and you feel something just wrong trying to work its way into you. You have the shudder go through your body, but then it passes. And now you have, and as you do this, it lets out another long, screeching howl. This one much higher pitch from its first initial battle charge, as he now goes up in flames and becomes a pile of cinder, really, with the amount of damage.
Oh, with the sword hitting him.
Yeah, with the sword hits him.
All right.
Yeah,
I thought he just spontaneously combusted upon clawing him. Like, holy shit! What sort of shit is he doing now?
He was from Tiamat, and he just burst into flame.
Yep.
Signal flared.
All right. Carradine, this happens, 10 feet from you, as, the ghoul hits flame on,
Slow clap.
almost as if the oils from its own rotted flesh seem to accelerate its burning.
Nice.
It does not smell good.
Nope.
And where you had heard a single
Right.
roar before, there is now yet another one joining it from
Yeah.
on the other side of the hill.
Do we need to get up to the top of the hill?
I don't want to leave
Take the
horses
high
undefended.
ground.
Can we get the horses up the hill?
I don't know. Or do we want to try and just book it? Get on the cart and do a running?
These things don't, if they're undead, they probably don't have to sleep.
Right.
We don't want them chasing after us through the night.
Right.
So hold our post and throw down.
Or do we run and then attack them as they're following us? I don't know.
I'd rather take care of them here if we can.
Okay.
This isn't.
Yes.
It's
I just
not
say
like
kill
an
these
ambush that they have laid.
Right.
Fiends
This is
of
probably
Tiamat.
as.
We're fairly random.
Still in initiative, and if we're having this discussion, we're going to get. So I'll give you. Okay.
I'm going to race up to the top of a hill while we're talking about this.
Okay. And
As fast as I can. 90 feet.
So on a.
Double move.
Oh yeah, sure. Fuck yeah. You don't actually crest the hill, but my God, are you up there? And what you see charging from about halfway up, you believe they were once ogres.
I call back down. Undead ogres. From the other direction where we heard the scream, do I see anything?
That is from where the. And it wasn't a scream so much as a roar.
Okay.
Each carrying a giant it's like a spiked stone on a log.
Nice.
Lashed together. Swords, arrows, axes protruding from outside their body from what was probably used to last kill them.
Okay. I call
I'm
this
gonna-
down to them.
Climb up on top of the wagon.
Okay.
Do we need to turn the wagon around to keep the horses from taking any brunt of this rush or raid?
It would be coming from the side.
Okay.
If they are able to make it past you down to the wagons, or they might just stop up there and go toe to toe with you.
Okay.
What's how far are they?
They're
Call it out.
about halfway down the mountain. They're probably about 40 feet away
point?
from the crest of the mountain.
Yeah.
So probably about 45 feet away from you.
Do you guys want to come up here and shoot arrows down on them while they're still at a distance?
And we're how far away from him?
You're at the foot of a hill, so you're probably
But you
80 feet away from him.
I can't make it. They're gonna hit you before I
Not
get
in
to
one
you.
right, not in one round, and I'd rather not sacrifice the ability
My height
to shoot
advantage.
up the hill.
Okay.
Because once they crest it, they'll be in plain view the whole
Yeah.
way down.
Yep.
So I
Right.
don't want to be mid-hill before that happens.
Okay.
I can't move very fast.
I'm staying where I'm at.
Right, I'm climbing up next to him. I rolled a
Okay.
13 to
So-
not fall on my ass.
Yeah, it's not moving. You're fine. So,
Do they see me? That's the other question.
as far as you can tell right now, yes, they see you.
Okay.
And when they do, there's another round of roar from the two of them.
Okay.
Thalar holding an action until you can see them.
Yeah, holding an action, just kind of
Okay.
saying, "Bring them over the hill."
Bring 'em up.
Bringing the party to you.
So then,
Little bit
sticking with initiative order here,
Okay.
it is now the ogre's turn. They do continue to hustle on up.
When one of them gets within 20, I'm going to throw a dart at it.
You gotta wait for your turn. You gotta use
I know.
it. You had to use a dash to get there. They're 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
On their turn, they close to you, but they're not able to make any actions
Okay.
because it's just a.
They're dashing too.
It's for them to move the 45 feet. That's a dash for them. I
Yeah.
understand it's a stroll for you.
Up a hill,
Yeah.
cause any disadvantage or anything?
Nope,
to 'em?
because these are
Undead.
slow roll. No, it's not so much that. It's that these hills aren't difficult terrain.
Oh, okay.
It would have been difficult terrain for you if it was going to be difficult terrain for them.
Okay.
So, it's just.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm going to spear them. Fuck it.
I mean, they don't hit you yet.
Right.
We are at the top. We're there. So these guys have. So I will, because you had an action held. They do crest and then take like 10 more feet of movement, and then they're on top of Zell. So during that cresting,
Yeah,
I'll let
the
you.
first. I mean, I'm guessing the ogre's the tallest thing in there, and
Oh.
as soon as he's
Yeah.
in view, I'm letting go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you probably have roughly 10 feet of
So,
ogre in view before they reach him.
15 on the ogre.
Yeah, that hits.
All right.
And there are two of them. So
Holy shit! 18.
yeah, you're convinced that arrow went through him, and had he been alive, it would have struck something vital.
Nice. 18 acid. I gotta remember that.
Yeah, it's fine. You actually see this hole form right above his right lung, or where it would be, and the acid just starts to eat away, widening the hole an extra like inch and a half from the. It almost looks like a musket shot wound.
Okay.
I do have one more question though. Was there another enemy within 5 feet?
Yes, like I said, there are two ogres.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause I know you're gonna do your
Yeah, I
horde
say
breaker.
I should be able to get another
Yeah.
shot off here.
Oh yeah, no, I was waiting for.
Yeah. 24.
Yeah, that hits.
16.
You gave his buddy a matching tattoo.
Nice.
So actually, you know what? So we are now back to the top of initiative order. So Zell,
So I shoot an ogre.
yep, you got some friends.
Shoots him.
I rolled a 17 to hit him,
Yep, that hits.
and 19 points of damage, presuming they don't have any special
Okay.
necrotic resistance or anything.
Yeah, you hit him, and that green black flame pierces right through. So at the very least, they don't appear to be ignoring the damage you're doing.
Nice.
Okay. Anything else? Bonus action, move action.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so then we continue over to Cespedes. You saw Sonic. He had to go fast, and he went fast. Now he's at the top of the hill with some friends. And,
Well, I'm gonna start making my way up there, I guess.
okay, what's your speed?
30.
30? Okay. So if you dash, you will be most of the way there.
Let's do that.
Okay. And you'd be able to, provided they don't run away, you should be able to close and attack next turn.
All right.
So then we come up to Carradine. It is you and the Bronxby brothers.
All right. I'm going to go after the one that was already wounded by Zell.
Okay.
That is a 19.
Yeah, you hit.
And I'm using two hands with this thing.
Okay.
12 points of just regular damage and 6 points of cold damage.
Okay. So let's see. So that's 18. Okay.
And that is a 20.
That hits.
8 points of damage. An additional 2 points of cold damage.
Min that shit.
No shit. And then I'm going to use unarmed strike as part of my flurry.
Okay. So that doesn't do the key point. It's just the
No,
free
right.
punch.
If I hit.
Yeah.
And that is a 24? 26. Sorry.
Yeah, that hits.
And that's only a d6. Fuck. 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Slap.
I did almost min damage the whole way through.
And I would say like across the face, but you could probably reach a knee.
Balls.
And I mean,
Damn it.
and you
Beanbag that shit.
To do more damage.
you connect the dots across his chest with your spear, and then you go to like to sack slap him, and you just come back with this gooey mess on your hand. Damn it. And you'd be.
I look back at the rest and I hold up my hand like, ew.
The thing what's really gross is it's blue.
Oh.
It's no natural color. This is what happens when blue balls is taken to the extreme.
Does he instinctively? No.
No. For those at home, he smelled his fingers.
He starts to goes, no.
No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
I totally need Cespedes to smell this for me. Cespedes walks up, smell my fingers. All right,
okay.
but he is standing
Damn.
in all of his weaponized gelatinous glory.
Okay.
Thalar.
Hope your arm. Oh, do they go?
Not yet.
Oh, I thought they went at the same time as him.
No, they go after. Well, so you held an action last time,
Right.
So that's where they got to keep going, and then you got to use your action on theirs. They're at the bottom of the initiative order.
Oh, okay.
You got a 7. They got a 3.
And they're still close, so I'm just gonna fire. I'm gonna sharpshooter the first one. Try. Anyway.
Okay.
Which is the one that Zell didn't hit. So this one's the ones with the least amount of damage.
Okay.
Sweet. So it's 22.
Yes, that hits.
All right. D6s. You know what?
Like a D6. I keep forgetting I have lemonade.
I have been using D6s instead of D4s. 22.
22 damage.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Sweet. That's way better than me.
Now, your arrow explodes through his chest, but he didn't really have much of a chest to begin with, so he is still up because you went to the undamaged one.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and use my
Hordebreaker.
Hordebreaker on the other guy. Natural 20. Oh, buddy.
So roll those 8d4.
Yep. 36, 7, 8. So 12. 21.
21.
Damn.
Okay. This one you boom headshot over, and the arrow hits, and just the acid splashes all over the ogre's face, and he begins to dissolve. And as you're not sure if it's his body falling this way, or if it's him he was in the middle of making his swing, but the oversized morning star does come down, and just you're able to kind of take a flow step around it.
Yikes.
As the body then continues with all the acid and necrotic damage that is built up, begins to dissolve away.
This is the first time that I have done 44 damage in a turn
crazy.
in D&D 5e. So
Nice.
is there a little
a lot
ribbon
of
I can
damage.
get or something?
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
Just a roll of thunder. All right. So we are down to...
That sounded really disturbing without any visual. Like,
You just hear the
Here's
fapping
your
sound
reward.
from
Yeah.
behind your head.
yeah.
Here's
Sorry.
your reward.
Sorry. That was really awesome. Got blue goo on my
You
hand.
didn't use that hand.
Well, it doesn't sting.
Oh.
Okay.
Just smells a little bad.
Carradine, this ogre swings his club at you.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit you?
No.
No. Okay. So yeah, he kind of goes. Thwomp. There is a updraft from the just air displacement from the thwomping, and the head of the mace is buried a little bit into the ground.
Okay.
Zell, it is your turn.
I shoot the other, whichever one looks.
Shoot, da-doo.
Shoot a giant thing on top of a hill.
Ba-doom.
I hit it. I rolled a 25.
Okay.
And then 8 and 8 is 16 damage.
All right. You just continue to fill these guys with arrows, and they're taking it like champs. There is only the one that is left. Cespedes, now is your time. You can actually do something.
Right. All right.
Do these guys count as buildings?
I was hoping they'd be made out of some sort of stone, yes. But Well, I'm gonna come in and take a swing at the guy.
All right.
And for 20, I can't do math. 22 hit. So that hit
Yes.
him, I assume.
A 22 does in fact hit.
Hit him for 23.
Yes. That will in fact damage him. So he is still up.
Not after my second attack.
Probably not.
20.
Yes, that hits. This is literally like hitting the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
That was 21.
21. All right. You hit him, and he staggers to the ground before rising back up with a blood-curdling shout. Carradine, it is your turn.
Question. So I just realized, because it's just tiny one little line here on D&D Beyond, that I have attacks per action 2.
Right. That's what I just went through.
Yep.
So I haven't been using that.
Know your character sheet?
I know. No. I'm
Yeah.
It's my fault. I'm just saying, do I get to do this twice? And
Yeah.
does Hordebreaker work for each one? 'Cause
No, because Hordberg specifically says 1 per attack action.
It says once. Okay, I got you. Gotcha. Once on each of your turns.
Yeah.
Okay. I
No,
see.
yeah, it was one of those things. So kind of like where he gets his bonus fist.
Yeah.
So he gets like stab fist. You get 3 arrows.
Sweet.
Right. 13? Does a 13 hit?
Yes, a 13 hits.
Shit. That
Broadside
is
barn.
10 plus an additional 9 points of damage. So, frost.
You shove the spear inside of him, and he begins to crystallize. And where before you were seeing those nice statues, he is only held together in so many places that arms begin to fall off, and he just under his own weight then begins to crumple down into into almost just rubble.
Okay. Wipe my hand on him.
Freeze the blue goo.
You touch it, and your hand is it's so cold. The goo actually does it freezes to you just a little bit.
Crumple it off.
You reach over to Cespedes. You're just like, "Good job, buddy." Good. Just wiping it off.
Thank you.
Yeah, fire and ice here happened, and yeah. Apparently, zombies have this ability. I didn't realize this, called Undead Fortitude, which is the first time they are reduced to 0 hit points, they make a Constitution saving throw. Ogres and add zombie on top of that have a stupid Constitution.
Yeah.
And then I rolled very high, so it's like, oh, I made it. Okay.
I guess search them for anything if they got.
The one you turned to rubble has nothing.
Okay.
The second one, it's full of rusted blades. Maybe a usable arrow or 2, but even then,
Okay.
not really.
And then go down and check to see what the the other ones were eating.
Roll me a nature check.
So his last yell, did that alert anything else? Have we seen anything?
5.
Roll me a perception.
5 on the nature check.
You know it has red blood and fur.
Okay. So it's not a human.
No.
Okay. Go back to the caravan.
It could be a dwarf, though. I mean, red blood and fur works there.
Apparently, finally, I'm alert for the first time in days. 24 for my perception check.
Well, I mean, battle will heighten your awareness.
It does.
Before, where you had heard echoing calls, they seem to be pretty quick in succession, at the very least between the ghoul and these ogres. However, you don't seem to be hearing anything else. Still no sounds of nature or anything of such, but I mean, you did just have a battle. Maybe these things had been around you this whole time.
Right.
Maybe it's just what the area is.
Okay.
Do we want to burn the corpses just to be safe? Or
Well, at this point in time, you only have to burn one of them, because the other one you've already burnt 2 and froze 1.
Yeah.
I'll go burn the other one.
Yeah.
It's at your feet. You just ignite your sword and touch it.
Yeah, I'm staying up on top of the wagon on alert just in case.
Okay. Head back
I'm
down.
going to heal myself.
When he thinks about you, he touches himself up.
Well, not. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
Did you take damage?
I did.
Yeah, the ghoul,
Oh,
round
the ghoul,
1,
the ghoul, the ghoul,
yeah.
got him.
It's like the ogres didn't touch him at all.
I didn't get close enough to anything to even think about casting mage armor.
All right.
Mary was very much, you, fuck you, over there.
now get on the wagon and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Okay. So, feeling less than welcome in these lands now, you end up riding through lunch. If I can get one more handle animal, because you're trying to squeeze out those last few miles to
Not quite as good this time, just 10.
just 10. Okay. Maybe you're just a little shaky from the fight, or
Maybe
maybe
they can
you yearn for another one because
If-
you didn't get to act so much in this one.
Yeah.
Either that, or the horses are smelling what's left on Caradon and just not happy about it.
Yeah, they don't seem to be moving at the breakneck speed. And you find you are going to have to end up camping one more night out here, but you should most definitely reach the unless you want to press on through the
Through
night.
the night? No, I think we're good. We can camp.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't want to.
We're ahead of schedule, right? Like we're still in a good area to catch up with that caravan.
Yeah, your original estimate was going to put you there a day before. Now you're going to end up like a day and a half before.
Okay, we're cool. We can camp.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. The only thing that you need in your favor is time to be there, so it looks like your horses are rested. So that way, when they get there, you can proceed with the lie of, "Oh, we were left behind by the other caravan,"
Yeah.
and only a fool would take a lone cart out here on their own. Don't mind the weapons.
Or the, goo. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing undead was slaughtered. It's, no.
Yeah. All right. So you find your place to camp. We're gonna do figure out your order of watches again.
I'll take first again.
I would say same thing. I'll take the last if
Yeah, it's fine.
Fowler wants to do middle again.
So Zell and Falar, because Falar's doing Caradon and Falar. I need perception checks for the two of you.
7.
That is a 22. Whew.
All right, cool.
At least one of you was paying attention.
Yeah. There's an overlap. We're cool.
You look out over your side of the hill. Falar, you don't really see anything. You're just kind of hanging out. But Caradon, you see something moving with some kind of intent down in that fog that always seems to gather at the base of each hill. And then you see another one and another. Each one kind of darting and moving
Is it
around.
like the deer were the other night? Or is it
Smaller,
was it like the thing that trundled at us? The ghoul or whatever?
about the same size.
I let him know. I just point.
I go on to alert, grab my bow immediately.
Okay. When you go for your bow, you hear a brief sound that sounds like a whistle. And up from the mist come 6 humans, each one looking muddled and fucked up as they come wildly screaming at you, brandishing, sure, we'll call them clubs. They really just look like branches. And rusted weaponry.
Okay.
So when you say wildly screaming, loud enough to wake us up?
Oh yeah, you're what? Yeah. When you're like, hey guys, someone's Rah! They're here.
So this isn't they're not fleeing something, they're attacking.
They are attacking. Yes. And as they come up out of the mist, one thing you were able to see because of your dark vision as an elf, they're wearing patchwork skins and furs. These are wild people.
Okay.
They're not. You kind of get a little bit of look in their eyes, and they look very crazed.
Okay.
So yeah, we're back to an initiative. Zell,
14.
Cespedes,
1? No, 4. Cool.
Caradon,
I did roll a 1.
21.
and Falar.
11.
I have a question about attacks. I am proficient in 2 weapon fighting. I have not had to do this yet. So do I get to use both weapons and also have 2 attacks per action? So that'd be
Okay.
using 4 weapons then?
No.
Okay.
What you would get is your offhand. You would get a third attack with a weapon in your offhand. Is what you would get.
Okay.
And so everyone has the basic of 2-weapon fighting, at which point in time it has to be like a light finesse weapon, and you don't get to apply your ability score in damage. Then there are some classes, and I think Paladin is one of them, where you actually do get the class feature 2-weapon fighting, where then you get more stuff from that depending on what your class is. So, but even then, so for example, with the greatsword you would not be able to 2-weapon fight with that because that one does require 2 hands to use.
Right.
But I think like your
Oh.
Warhammer and like you could
I'm thinking of
you could Warhammer
Yeah, I
and
was-
a dagger. I mean,
yeah. I've got a long sword that's one-handed.
right. So the only but so a longsword. So like
Yeah.
without a feat, you wouldn't be able to use the longsword and the Warhammer because neither of those are light finesse weapons.
Okay, they're just versatile.
Yeah, they're just versatile, which means you can use them one-handed or two-handed.
Okay, I got you.
All right. So
I would say, what's the distance between us and the bottom of the hill that they're coming out of this mist?
breaking the mist is about 30 feet down from the top of the hill, and I'm putting them right at the mist line. So they're about 30 feet away from Carradine. You're probably an extra 10 or so feet back at the actual campsite, and that's where Cespedes was sleeping, and Zell was probably doing her meditation.
Okay.
So, and I would say like that kind of puts the three of you together in that cluster.
Okay.
So it's from 10 feet from you to Carradine, 30 feet from Carradine to the mist line, and at the mist line are the psychopaths. Okay, so first up is, in fact, Mr. Carradine. Mr. Carradine.
All right, have they come out of the mist yet?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
out of the mist. You're not going to get any kind of penalty from that.
Okay. I will go down to meet them,
Okay, yeah.
Are you going to talk to them?
start attacking
I'm like,
with my spear.
hi, I'm Carradine.
I'd like to
Welcome
talk
to my
you about
campsite.
our Lord and Savior.
My spear.
Yeah. So the first roll is a 1.
Okay.
Does that stop all of my other attacks?
No, it does not. There's been a lot of debate over this and how to handle it, and the only thing that it would prevent would be if you had stuff that was triggered off of that attack.
Okay.
You would so like if you because ultimately what it is just treated as a miss, and then how I choose to as a DM treat it. I mean that's everything from a you drop your weapon
Right.
to a they get an attack of opportunity, which yeah I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say 2 of them are within range to do that from you.
Okay.
To then some people would just say no, it's just a miss, nothing else happens.
Right.
Like no, bitch, it's a critical miss.
botch.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Like, your game sucks. I'm even playing it. I'm just like fuck you.
I mean, those ones are where the
Yeah.
game happens. Really, 20s and ones is
So
where
between the 20s and the ones,
yeah, that's the risk to the players for real.
No, it's just a miss. That's all that happens. It just misses.
All right, so these two, they're going to take their swings at you with their clubs, and they're about as proficient at swinging at you as you are at them.
Okay. Second attack.
Yes.
I rolled another fucking 1.
I just saw.
You drop your spear.
Damn it.
That's going to, you drop your spear.
Then I am going to spend a key point to punch one of these fuckers.
Do it.
God damn it.
Do it. Punch Steve in the face. Fuck you, Steve.
That is a 6 plus. That is a 14.
That hits.
Is that instead of doing damage?
Oh, stunning strike?
Yeah.
No, you still do the damage.
Okay. And that is a D6 now. 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Unarmed strike. And I'm going to spend an additional key point to turn into a stunning strike.
Okay. So he takes the 6. So
That dice
here's
tired.
the thing. You did Fury of Blows, right?
I did attack. Fury of Blows only gets triggered if I actually hit. No, wait. No. Key point does Flurry of Blows, yeah.
Right. And that gives you 2.
I think it's just 1 extra.
So there's unarmed strike. Which
2 unarmed strikes. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Okay. 20?
Yes. And are you hitting the same guy or a different one?
Different guy.
Okay.
For fucking 6 points of damage. And another key point to see if I can stun him too.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. And what
I
are they
don't think there's a
rolling?
limit on my key point expenditures. It just says whenever you hit a weapon melee attack, you spend a key point to make the target stunned until the end of your next turn. But I don't think there's a limit on key point expenditures.
Yeah, it's just you. They are your points to spend.
Okay.
That is one thing I looked
Yeah.
up. There was someone who says, "Well, I limit it in my game by
Right.
they can only spend up to their level." I'm like, "Who the fuck is going to have 10 key points?"
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
so what?
So they have a DC 15 on a con save.
DC 15 con. No.
Okay.
Both of them, like you know, fuck, and you just kind of go, you know, left, right, hit them both like right in the hip. And you twist right at it, which kind of like locks their hips into place, and you can see them trying to like stretch and pop back out of it, but it's just not really able to do anything.
Does that help other people hit them if they're stunned?
A stunned creature is incapacitated.
Oh, shit.
C condition. Can't move, can't speak.
Oh, shit.
Only
This is the first time I've been able to use it.
can't move and can't speak. Let's see. Creature automatically fails strength and dex saving throws. Attacks against the creature have advantage.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
I like advantage.
Yeah, it's
avoids-
there's very much the option to stun lock boss.
Nice.
So here's the thing. If you let's say you're fighting one guy 1-on-1, you hit with that first one and you stunning strike him and it locks him. And then you do it on the first hit. The remainder of your attacks will all have advantage against him
Oh, till the next turn.
until the end of your next turn.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So let's say
So
your
next attack
So
I
let's
get-
say you had 4 attacks, and on the first one you stunned him. The remaining 3 all have advantage, and then all 4 next round have advantage. Yeah, monks are gross. Oh,
That's why I want to make sure that those bracers didn't like knock shit out of the park for doing extra crazy shit.
no, you're not even close to what I've
Okay.
seen in terms of insane.
Okay. Yay! I'm normal. All right.
Technically you all have a little bit of extra high magic items right now because I was trying to compensate from when you only had 3 people, and
Yeah.
then I didn't want you to feel left out when you got here. So that just means bad guys have more HP, and
There you go.
there's
That's how
more
you do
of
that.
them. So
It does make the game more fun when we have good toys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you've locked those guys into place. So now it is Zell. It is your turn.
Okay.
AoE. AoE. Oh, I don't know.
Well, first things first is I cast Mage Armor. So
Yes.
that happens as my action because they're a lot closer than they were last
Yes.
time. And then as a bonus action, I am going to go ahead and cast the Dragon's Breath thing. Yeah, Dragon's Breath. So that's my turn.
Okay. Alrighty then.
So that's something that has to like cook up. You get to attack with it like for a few rounds after that, I guess.
Right. It's a bonus action that then lasts for like a whole minute.
So
Yeah, 1 minute.
some stuff I've been reading up and found. The only way you can cast 2 spells is if one of them is a cantrip.
Really?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's got to. This does not count as a reaction. You can still use
Right.
if you have like a reaction spell. You can still do that, but on your actual turn, you can only do a. If you use your bonus action to cast a spell, you can only use your action to cast a cantrip, but like something else is kind of like I think it's a little dumb, and I'm probably going to house rule it the more I read about it. If you have a bonus action cantrip, because they exist,
Right. I don't
you
have
can't
to.
then you still can't use your actual action to do a spell. It can still only be a cantrip.
Okay, that's some bullshit. That's fine.
And the reason for that is when you get up into like high up there, you can almost like double wish as a sorcerer.
So would you be able to cast a spell and use like a wand or something at the same?
No, because that's still casting a spell.
Actually, yes, you
or a
can.
rod or something, a staff.
So like if you have a bonus bonus action spell like Mage Armor.
Like, no, Mage Armor is an action.
Oh, action. Okay.
The Dragon's Breath is the bonus
Okay,
action.
so like Dragon's
Right.
Breath, you could then still use because like the wand itself is a magical device. If it's got a spell in it, you can use it. You can use the scroll. It's
That's where.
yeah,
Yeah, that's real dumb.
yeah.
Okay.
It's extra
But
dumb.
I guess it evens it out, so you're not doing.
Well, the only
Right, but the downside is that I don't get the extra attacks that everybody else does.
Right,
So
and-
being limited to 1 spell, 1 arrow in a turn is kind of dumb.
here's the thing. You're the DM. You get to make
Right,
decisions.
I'm not
Yeah.
arguing with this.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
isn't an argue, but I would say that the timing of stuff is built in by calling it either a reaction, a bonus action, or an action.
See, that's what I
and
would
that
think,
those
but-
because they specifically say something like Mage Armor. Or Dragon's Breath is a bonus action. They meant for it to be able to be cast along with something. That's just my take.
Yeah,
Your
and
rule
there-
is your rule.
With what they were doing there was like, oh well, you have the cantrips, and your cantrips do scale up.
Yeah, they
Right.
Like
But you have to cast them at higher spell slots for them
not
to...
your cantrips.
yeah.
Your cantrips just swell and stay cantrips.
Is that what
So-
the trade-off is? then?
So like your firebolt, I think at this point in time it's 2.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, wait, are we 5th level?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So at this point in time it's 2d10.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fairly potent.
Still...
Can't potentially.
Right. So like if you mage, we're looking at what you could do for bonus actions.
Right, I don't have any bonus actions that I can take. So
As a
I
yeah.
just Mage Armored. That's fine.
Right. But on your next turn you can totally Dragon's Breath and then cantrip
No, because I don't. Dragon's Breath is an action.
Oh, okay.
So I would have to bonus action cast it before my action, but that's all I could do. Which
Yeah.
is why I think it's a little weird. Because I can't. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But you'd still be able to stab somebody or shoot an arrow.
No.
No?
The Dragon's Breath is an action.
I mean, if you cast a spell, yeah. You'd still have another action, though, left over, don't you?
No.
You don't get 2 actions per...
No.
No.
Two attacks per
so-
action? I'm
No.
sorry.
So this
See, that's the thing.
Oh, I
I
see,
never
I
get
see,
2
I
attacks
see.
per action, which is why I think it's a little weird that I couldn't cast 2 spells to make up for the. I only ever get 1 attack per
yeah.
action.
So there's a couple things here. A lot of the cantrips end up like they'll like do 2d8, but you have to roll each of those
Right.
attacks. So that's how you get the extra attack. The other way is, and they're part of this holding on to with the cantrip thing, where they limited it was because of sorcerers specifically who get the meta magics that they can spend their points on. Because then
But that doesn't give me extra spells per round. It only gives me
twinning.
Okay, which I do have, but that's still weird. Okay,
Yeah.
it's whatever. That's like one option that if you take that, like to scale an entire system around, if you take that one option, is a little dumb.
It's not just that one, but it's like the one they cited as like, here's the easiest one. There are others. But it was like, oh wow, yeah, because you could twin it's like you could twin spells, and then you could then again twin the bonus action spell, and then you could again twin the reaction, provided you had the sorcery points. So then it was like 6 spells in a turn.
Kind of, but yeah, I mean, but they all have to be attack spells because twin only works on an attack spell.
Right, but I think like Hellish Rebuke is an attack spell.
Yeah,
It's a shame they don't put
But-
something sort of...
it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or just change that for the sorcerer and leave the wizard or whatever.
Well, no,
else.
the everything he's talking about is specifically sorcerer based.
Oh, yeah, and you're a sorcerer.
So, and I
yeah.
am a sorcerer. So, yeah, that's fine.
I think the wizard even then gets something still too. But okay, so we did that. You
Yeah,
got your major
okay.
armor up. So then continuing on.
I did not roll a 1 or a 20.
Well, you've taken your rest.
Right, but it's still a first level spell.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I actually have to roll. It doesn't happen automatically, but it didn't happen.
Okay. I so you remember it's like it's only when.
You're right. Only when Tides of Chaos is up, but yeah, no, it's
Okay. It is now Thalar and the crazy people.
Okay, so so they're still about 40 feet away from me, so bow range, and they're all fairly in a cluster, where they all kind of come in from different angles as like an ambush.
It's kind of like a C shape.
Okay, but there's 2 next to Carradine.
Yeah. Think about it. So it's like 1 5 feet, 1 5 feet, 1 5 feet. So they're like all within 10 feet of each other, but
Okay.
like in a line. And it's kind of got a weird. And because they were doing a pseudo surrounding coming up the hill, so it's a more of a
Okay.
C-shaped look.
So out of Hordebreaker range.
This Horde Breaker immediately 5 feet, or I thought it was up to 10. Was it?
I think it's within 5.
If it's within 5, then yeah, no, they're
Except for the 2 that are on him, right?
right because
Okay.
they came to Jesus.
Okay. So I'm going to use my 2 attacks on one of them, and I'll just do that straight up. The first one is going to be a sharpshooter.
Okay.
And you said I had advantage.
Yes,
So 13.
that's a hit.
Sweet. 8 plus 10. So 18.
Your arrow sails cleanly through him.
Okay.
You watch the eyes roll back, but because you've locked his body in place, he doesn't fall over.
Okay. So my second attack, I guess I will fire at the other guy.
You have advantage on him, too.
I won't need it. I just got 23.
That hits.
9 damage.
The arrow doesn't sail cleanly through him like it did the other one, but again, it buries itself into his chest, and the only thing holding these guys up is the fact that you've locked their pressure points into place.
And Hordebreaker doesn't matter because I already switched targets. That's all.
Well, so technically, it could have been shot Hordebreaker for those 2, and then switch to a new target for your, because you get 2 attacks in action, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So technically, you still have 1 more arrow that you can fire at something.
Okay, so I will go to the next guy over then. I'm not going to argue with you. Why would I argue? That is a 21.
That hits.
11.
Your arrow.
Actually, it's 12. Sorry.
Okay, in that case, the arrow buries into him and he falls over. Congratulations, you accidentally dialed into their exact hit points.
Their turn.
Yeah, they continue forward. You've taken out the left flank. The right side continues up. They were making the run at you guys. They're not quite able to They're able to close the distance, but they're not, because they're taking the dash, but they're not able to swing this turn. But you see one of them who kind of looks a little bit, his furs look less covered in shit. He kind of takes a look and sees that half of them are down, and he's like, and all you hear him just go, maybe not. And Cespedes, it's now your turn.
All right, I'll stride toward the closest one.
Yeah, they came to you, so you can. It's your pick.
I'll just start swinging then.
Okay,
14,
you hit,
20,
and you lop that guy in half.
and then I can then attack someone else, right? Yes.
Yeah, you've got you have insane guy and more together guy.
I'll take out the insane guy.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
23.
Yeah, and you just held the sword down, you hit the flame on, and you just lightsaber cut through both of these guys. We go back to the top. Carradine.
So he hit both the guys?
Yeah, there is one guy left.
Is that the most sane guy?
That is the least covered in shit guy.
All right.
I'm not saying he's not covered in shit.
Right.
I'm just saying he might have ducked.
Okay.
I left him in case you want to try to capture him.
Yeah,
and
that's
talk
what I
to
was
him.
exactly going to do. So I'm going to 25.
What are you like trying to grapple?
No, just on arm strike. I'm going to knock him out.
Oh, yeah, you hit.
10 points of damage,
Okay.
and I'm going to spend a key point to stun him.
Okay.
DC 15. Stun.
He's stunned.
Okay.
That's adorable. And again, he just...
Pick him up and start walking back up to the cart with him.
It's like moving a cardboard cutout.
I can just picture, boom! Come with me.
Yeah, so I guess it's 12 seconds, but yeah, so you're able to move him over to the cart, because that would be like it was punch, and then...
Dash. Or move with him.
No, I'm thinking like the move would technically be action, and your move action to move him over to the cart. Does anybody else want to do anything while he drags him over to a cart?
Well, if I...
No, I feel like I woke up for nothing at the moment.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Well,
All right, I'm awake!
Major! Why am I awake?
Maybe you're glad you didn't use that dragon's...
No, yeah, it's fine.
so,
Zell, could you grab my manacles from inside the cart, please?
I was going to say,
Sure,
can I
something to
realize
do.
what he's doing and try to throw him some rope or something?
Yeah, sure.
We got manacles from
He's
I
not...
go dig
yeah,
out
that-
the manacles.
Okay, yeah, you dig out the manacles.
Probably like already in the wagon.
Yeah.
So
There's enough, hand movements to where you're able to lock him up. So, roll me a dex check, because you're racing the clock on him getting an action.
That's 20.
Okay, yeah, you win.
Now my rolls are good.
Clink. He is he is manacled.
Okay.
Do you manacle him to the cart, near the cart?
Hands behind his back.
Okay,
Nothing crazy.
just him.
Wait for him to unstun.
And you see as he starts to slowly be able to move. He starts thrashing more and more around, trying to get out. He's testing his strength against the manacles, which I guess I should roll for that.
Yeah.
His wrists start to cut against them. He's pulling so hard, but not able to get out.
Okay. Do you understand me? Can you understand what I'm saying in common?
Yeah. He continues to just shake and scream, and he's going to try to run.
Let him run.
Hand cuffed behind his back. He
Jogs sideways next to him as he's running.
I gotta roll a dex check, because have you ever run with your hands tied behind your back?
Yeah.
It's not easy. Huh. But apparently he's versed. This is not the first time.
we've learned a little bit something about his private life. That's
Yeah, just jog sideways next to him while he's running.
Yeah, you can easily walk and keep pace with him. That's not a problem.
Tell him to calm down. He's not gonna kill you. Just want to know what's going on.
Roll a persuasion check.
8.
Yeah, he's just incoherent madness. Just
Vake's like, I'm knife here, going to metal bite my wrist, and I'm going to get me on down. They're going to get just looking for a body. Just gonna get
it's all the boomhauery insanity that you can.
Interesting.
Anybody got a
Interesting.
banjo?
Yeah. Trip him, I guess.
I was gonna say, let's see if he falls. Yeah, roll an attack.
Unarmed, I guess.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, you get him. You sweep the leg, Johnny. He starts rolling down the hill.
Jog next to him and stop him from rolling.
Just you stop him like a soccer ball. Just
And then kneel down on him so he can't get up with his hands tied behind his back on the
face up, face down.
face up.
Okay.
Now for the nipple tweaking.
Carradine is aroused.
How many more of them are you? How many more of there are of you?
Roll me another persuasion. You're talking down crazy.
15. 17, I'm sorry.
Okay.
17.
He
Wait, number. Yeah.
Have you been following us for a while, or did you just happen upon us?
he's like actively trying to roll over underneath you, like to be face down.
No, really, banjos?
He provides his own deliverance.
Interesting.
I hide my eyes.
Just be a couple minutes.
And he's not quite able to actually I need you to roll me either an athletics or a strength check.
Acrobatics?
Athletics. This is specific to grapple.
17?
Yeah, you got him.
Okay.
He's not moving. You actually have to like try for a minute. You're like, whoa, boy. Later. And
I just keep talking in the same calm tone. Did you just happen upon us, or were you tracking us for a while?
when you say the words, like you see his brain locking up, and finally he looks at you and he goes, "Are you real?"
I am very real, and so are you.
And you watch like even though there's like no light out here, you watch his eyes dilate and undilate.
How long have you been out here?
His starts to see like a kind of like a yellow foam starting to form around his mouth. And just kind of like he does start to become more docile, but he starts to like roll a little bit around underneath you and just kind of like sway, wiggle.
Can I
Were you
do
captured by them?
So can I do like a medicine check to see if I can figure out if he's under influence of something, or is there anything I can do here to see if he's affected by something?
Yeah, sure. Medicine. Go for it.
I don't think I have a very good medicine check, but I rolled a 13. Let me look here. 15.
This looks to be akin to rabies.
Okay.
He's got the hydrophobia.
And his skin is very taut. Like, he looks dehydrated. There is the foaming at the mouth. And given the savagery in which they attacked you. But one thing you notice is a distinct lack of bite marks on him that you usually associate with actual rabies. But there's definitely some kind of disease going through and
Does anybody have
Does
cure disease?
Burning out
Well, I was
his
gonna say-
brain. I do not.
Ooh, yeah, I don't think I do either.
Seth, do you have cure disease yet?
No. Wait. Yes, I do. Don't I?
To the third level or something? Can't remember.
oh yeah, I think it's like a 3rd or 4th level spell, and he
I don't have third
Yeah,
level yet.
yeah.
Okay. Well, if he is diseased, and you think he's not going to last very long, then I guess we'll just let him go.
I mean, I've got a healing spirit, or I've just got cure wounds for, but that's like hit points. I don't know if those affect whatever kind of things.
Nope.
No.
Cure spirit? What does that do?
Healing spirit. That's a like AOE heal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If he's not going to last very long, I'll just roll him over and undo the manacles. And
roll me a sleight of hand or a dex check, because once you start to move him again, he begins to thrash again.
8.
He actually bucks up out of you and takes off manacled.
I shoot him in the back.
All right, roll an attack.
I want those manacles back.
Well, I can get him. He's not.
Natural 20.
All right, roll your damage. I mean, I was considering like, hey, you've got the high ground. And it's a human at night. They can't really see where they're going or what's going on. And he's manacled. I'll probably give you a natural 20. Fuck it.
10,
Dead.
2, 25.
25?
25 damage.
Your bolt hits him in the back, and he screams in pain as he continues to sprint, and it almost seems to spur him further along.
Okay. Well, I'll get up and run after him then. Again, sideways.
Yeah, you actually, this first round, you actually have to do a dash to catch up to him, because, like,
Fine.
oh, I was expecting you to die.
Right.
So was
You're
I.
like,
I don't even think to fire another arrow. I was like, what? That's never happened before.
Yeah.
And I mean, you did. You hit him solidly square in the back. Every reason this should have just, like, burst through his chest, and it didn't.
Okay. Knock him down again, I guess.
Okay. Roll another unarmed strike. Trip his ass.
That is... I rolled a 5 that time. That is a 13.
Roll again with advantage because he is restrained.
That is an 18.
Okay, yeah, you definitely hits, and he definitely goes down.
Okay. Face plant him, undo the manacles,
Okay.
then sit back as he let him up.
I'm sorry, how much damage did you do? Because the
I'm
trip.
not trying to do any damage to him, just to trip him and knock him
Oh,
down.
okay.
Breaking his kneecap to...
Okay, yeah, you trip him, and he spends a little time because he hits the ground again. He skids, and he tries to get up. But you've got
Knee
the
on
key,
his back.
and you're more ready this
Knee on
time.
his
And
back.
yeah, you're able to get him out of the manacles. And he, when he hits the ground, and you release the manacles, he starts like doing kind of like a frog swim breaststroke in the grass, kind of like caterpillaring around.
Okay.
And
Stand
again,
up.
he just starts like,
I started walking back to the group. Yeah. Just leaving him. Let him go.
yeah.
Stay.
Yeah. As I wasn't really close enough to figure out the whole, because I stayed with the wagon, so like the whole fact that it's a disease may not,
Yeah.
I'm unaware, so that's fine.
Okay. Head all the way back.
Yeah. About between the run, the fog, about 120 feet away, there's just this. I mean, you guys can't see him anymore because of the fog. There's just this dude. You're aware of him for probably the rest of the evening.
Okay.
I would say into. Because Zell was taking third watch, right?
Right.
Yeah, Zell, I would say by the time about halfway through your watch, so a little bit before Falar goes to bed, you stop hearing the writhing and the moaning, and there's a brief sound of footsteps as it scurries away off into the wilds.
Okay, good luck with that.
Live your best life.
Yeah.
The rest of your shift goes through uneventful. Dawn breaks. You know that you're only a few hours ride away from the home.
Okay.
So what I will now need is for one Mr. Kirk to roll me a d20 for your events of the morning.
For perception,
Nope, just a d20 roll.
6.
6. All right. So everyone, roll a perception.
26.
10.
18.
I'm still asleep. 5.
5. All right. So it was 10,
Okay.
6, and 5?
18.
Yeah.
Oh, 18. Okay. I don't know why I thought you said 6. I need to listen better.
It's like a third of what I said.
Masked. So, for the first part of Very Good Still, it's just that eerie, kind of incredible quiet. But both Zell and Carradine, something you know, like all of a sudden, one thing you kind of pick up on is, oh, there's bird sound again.
Very nice.
Okay.
And about 20 minutes after you guys notice this, you see off in the distance the house. And as you do, you proceed to get closer and closer and closer. You do realize that, like, while calling it a halfway home or a house is a very large understatement, this is very much a highway tavern. As you approach it, it actually looks even very large. You see off to the side, there's a woodworking area. There are with some timbers stacked up along it. There is a door that is maintained and shut, and you are able to approach. And it's hitting that lunchtime, so not a bad time to maybe take a lunch. Let me read up on this real quick. So when you get over there and you look at the woodworking area, you do notice that there are no tools. There's just the raw patchwork material there. And when you go inside, while there are basic chairs, and there is a very long hall, and there is a stove back in the kitchen, there's actually like 3 of them, 3 stoves, 3 ovens. The whole place is empty, which is something that you were told to expect to do. Like, this is a structure that is set up and it's maintained by Baldur's Gate. Maybe once, twice a month, somebody comes out here, makes sure that everything's fixed up and put together. You do see here that there is a well more established, almost an actual road that comes in. And here you can prepare your food, get honest rest. There is a well out front. If someone wants to draw themselves a bath, they could probably do that.
But there's no bartender or staff here. It's just a building to use for wayward travelers.
Yep. And all of the furnishings are minimal.
Is there a barn?
There is an open-faced stable.
Okay.
Where you could hitch your horses up to.
I would say hitch the horses up, wipe them down, because I'm sure they're pretty tired, lathery.
Yep.
As hard as we've been pushing them.
Yeah.
Get them a full trough of water. And
yep. You can do all of that and all of the tenderness and care that your horses and your own bodies require. And you now have day and a half to chill before anyone shows up.
Okay. Looks like a pretty good place to call for the night.
Yep.
Okay.
And also it is 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take a long rest.
You can take 2 of them.
Does it double my stuff? All right.
Actually, if you had spent healing dice, you would have recovered all of them.
Nice.
With those 2 long rests.
We owned our enemies pretty hard. Like, I think Cespedes took a little bit of damage, and everything else we just fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
I rolled
Yep.
real low on the number of monsters that could show up. And if those ogres got a chance to hit, because they were swinging with, I think it was like +8s, and it was 2d8 plus 13 damage.
Wow.
Yikes.
Well, I'm very glad that we dispatched them quickly.
Yeah. Well, they had an AC of 8.
Right. I mean,
Not so
they're
happy
huge
about
and slow, but
the ball slap and the blue waffle.
Dude, that was blue waffle batter. Like, it was
somehow less
and then
disgusting.
Or was it melted from under cheese?
the Famunda from Down Under. The ghouls had a paralysis that if you failed multiple times, there would have been heart stopping. There was some nasty things that could have happened if you let it happen.
No, we lit them up.
Yeah. It was possible that if the madmen bit you, you could get what was driving them. Crazy. So.
Yeah, if I had been closer and had, fully realized the possible disease aspect of the guy who ended up on the ground and out of sight, I would have shot him to prevent him from spreading it to anybody else, but I didn't know that till he was out of sight, and I wasn't going to go chasing after him in the fog on the rest of my watch, so...
Oh, yeah, no. It was only like, wow, that was convenient. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as he gets more damaged, I had to there was an extra little table that I had to roll on to see okay, well, what does he do? Oh, I rolled docile. Of course I rolled docile now. It's kind of like there's this one campaign that I was in, and there was an aboleth with a split personality, and every time the party would hear its thoughts, they were always murderous and mean and terrible. And then whenever they met it in person, they always would roll the personality for that day, and it was always the kind, docile one. So it was convinced that there was a second aboleth somewhere that was, trying to murder everyone, and he had made new friends, and he wanted to keep them safe.
Dungeons & Dragons is property of Wizards of the Coast. Please visit dnd.wizards.com to purchase your copy of the game today. The opening and closing music, Epic, is property of Ben Sound. Check them out at bensound.com for more royalty-free music. This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming. All rights reserved. You may download only material displayed and identified on the site as specifically available for downloading. Such material is for non-commercial, personal use only, provided you also retain all copyright and other proprietary notices contained on the materials. You may not, however, distribute, modify, transmit, reuse, repost, or use the content of the site for public or commercial purposes, including the text, images, audio, and video without our written permission.